Nobody wants to be a part of this psychotic movement anymore. Nobody.
Psychotic movement when you guys literally tried. You guys invaded the Capitol.
Your side believes in trans kids.
Who wants to
Your
trans
side
kids?
wants to pay for trans
Most
surgeries
people
in the
aren't okay
prisons.
with it. You guys
Your
won't even
side
acknowledge
lets in
what
10
you've
million
done.
illegal immigrants.
Oh
Your
my
side starts
God.
wars all over the world. Our side is the party of sanity and the party of common sense. And if you can't see that in this debate, then you're never going to see it.
You're never going to. The party of sanity is the party that doesn't believe in dinosaurs and thinks that we create hurricanes.
What are you talking about?
So many
the most
lies.
anti-establishment free speech organization in the world
yes, the freedom of
is
speech guys, yes.
InfoWars.
The freedom of speech guys.
That's why we get shut down.
True, exactly.
That's why
it
we're
wasn't
under
for
attack.
telling. Yeah.
Of course. You want to know what happens when you speak truth to power? Everything this guy just said. I've been censored. I've been imprisoned. I've been assaulted. I've had my businesses shut down. This guy's dealt with nothing except cucking to his wife's boyfriend.
The woke streamer Destiny has once again been absolutely embarrassed, this time in front of an actual live audience. This was pretty crazy. This was at a college campus, and I believe it's Owen Schroyer versus Destiny here, and Owen Schroyer absolutely destroys Destiny. Let's check out this clip here of Destiny getting absolutely embarrassed in person in front of a live audience. Let's check this out.
We've seen all of this.
So
None of this is a mystery.
Tell me
right?
what an insurrection is. Just define it for me.
I don't have to define it for you. I'm just asking simple questions. On January 6th, there was a certification of the vote. That vote was disrupted by violence. If you want to get into what an insurrection is, you could say that it was a crowd of people that had gathered with a common purpose to use the means of violence or intimidation to disrupt an official federal proceeding, such as the certification of the 2020 vote, the outcome of that election, which is why it would probably qualify as an insurrection.
Okay. How many guns were at this insurrection?
You don't need a gun for an insurrection.
Zero.
Wait, the cops didn't have any guns?
Oh, the cops had a gun. That's right. They killed an innocent
so
person.
That's what you just said, which is wrong.
That's right. They killed an innocent person.
With a slingshot? What do you mean there were zero guns at the insurrection?
So, okay, so the government had the guns. So that's good. So that's what happens when only the government has the guns.
Just to be clear here, none of the people on the grounds of the Capitol had any firearms on them?
No, not a single one.
Really? Not even though the Secret Service said 80% of the people that were at the Ellipse just an hour earlier listening to Trump's speech didn't go through the magnometers because they saw people in the crowd that had firearms they didn't want to go through that all marched to the Capitol building. What, did they drop their gun off at a hotel? Did they give it to a friendly police officer?
Not
did they find a fellow
gun.
DC BLM guy to hold onto their rifles?
Not a single gun was ever recovered or on record at the January 6th insurrection.
Oh, recovered.
And what type of an insurrection?
How many pipe bombs were found
That's a great question, actually. Who laid those pipe bombs?
We don't know. We never found out.
We don't know. How convenient. The government can recognize somebody's earlobe in a video and track them down and go arrest them in the middle of a hurricane, by the way. The FBI went into North Carolina in the middle of a hurricane and arrested somebody, but they can't find who laid the pipe bombs. They have no idea. And Kamala Harris doesn't remember where she was that day either, even though one of the bombs was allegedly right outside of her office. She has no idea. She's changing her story. But what type of an insurrection?
No one is changing the story. You guys filmed this.
Kamala
from start
has
to
changed
finish.
the story.
We can watch you guys cheering for it. We can watch you cheering 1776. What was 1776?
I know you hate 1776.
Wait,
I know you hate
what
that.
was 1776? What was that?
That was the founding of the country.
Which was it? What was the event? What would you call that?
When we overthrew royalty and created
against the government, would you call it
a constitutional republic.
Would you call that an insurrection?
No.
1776, the revolution. You wouldn't call that an insurrection?
So are you pro-insurrection now? You just babble and stammer so much I can't figure out where you're at. Tell me what kind of an insurrection when an emergency notice goes out to go home, everybody goes home and calls it a day. Is that
what kind of an insurrection ends when the leader tells his followers to go home? All of them.
Perfect.
That's kind of how it works. That's how a cult works.
So there was no insurrection. Trump didn't want to overthrow the government. Thank you for admitting that. That wasn't too hard to get out of you.
We can't even follow basic logic.
No,
1776 was an insurrection. It was a
now
revolution.
You're deflecting again to 1776.
I'm not deflecting.
So
I'm referring
Trump
specifically.
Wanted to insurrect
it's just
the
funny
government,
that you stand outside saying 1776 and go, well, is this really an insurrection? Well, I don't know. What were we cheering for? The Star Spangled Banner?
Was
it choir practice?
Actually, they were singing the Star Spangled Banner, something you'll never hear at a Democrat event.
Mike Pence. When Donald Trump said Mike Pence needs to do the right thing, what was he talking about there? What do you want Pence to do?
So in the history of the United States, there have been multiple times where a party rejects the results of an election, and all three times prior to 2020, it was the Democrat Party.
Really? You want to walk? Let's walk through those. Let's walk through those. You want to go through? You want to go over the?
No, so part of me, I remember this debate on Tim Pool where I forgot who it was, but somebody went on Tim Pool's podcast and said that they wish that J6 never happened because it gave the left so much ammo. And part of me wants to agree because people like Destiny and these woke idiots, they will just never stop bringing up J6. Like, this is forever going to be the thing that they use to prove that Donald Trump and the right wing is trying to overthrow democracy, overthrow the government. That's what they're always going to bring up every time. But the other part of me is like, it doesn't really matter, because no matter what, Destiny and the woke left, they're going to twist some event. They're going to twist something into being their new J6. Even if J6 never happened, they're going to find something. But at the same time, it's good that people like Owen Schroyer are willing to go up against Destiny and just prove how idiotic this is. He's already doing it. It's going to get a whole lot worse here in a second, but he's already doing it because he already trapped Destiny once with the whole every single insurrection. Everybody goes home when the leader tells them to go home. Donald Trump told everybody to go home, and they didn't go home. In fact, the security let them in. So that already makes Destiny out to look like a complete hypocrite. Let's continue on, though, because this is going to get a whole lot more heated, and Destiny's going to look like even more of an idiot here in a second.
When it happened in 1960 in Hawaii, when the only reason why they submitted 2 different slates of electors, which were both authorized by the state legislatures, because there needed to be a recount. You want to use that one, or do you want to go back to Ulysses S. Grant, the one that happened prior to the ECA even being passed? Right? Where the whole reason why that law was passed was because it was such a clusterfuck of an election. Which one do you want to go to? Do you want to go to Gore, where Gore he gave up that election as soon as he lost to the Supreme Court, where there wasn't even a delay in the electors voting in Florida, let alone a January 6th certification? The problem is you don't know anything. You have no facts for any of this. And the strongest facts that you can attest to, you no longer can because you're scared of being sued again for defamation. So obviously, you're just going to sit here and ramble on some crazy shit. That's why you won't admit that 1776 was obviously an insurrection. That's why you were cheering it on outside when you thought you were going to be the winners of that insurrection instead of the losers, and it's why you won't admit now to obvious facts that are right in front of our face.
Every election in the 21st century, the Democrats have denied they lost.
Which vote certification?
They denied that Al Gore lost, they denied that John Kerry lost, and they denied that Hillary Clinton lost. And yes, they went to Congress and tried to stop the certification of the vote.
Really? What did they do for Gore?
That has happened every time.
Do for Gore?
And they'll likely do the exact...
Oh yeah, he's going to try to deflect from the Hillary Clinton thing and go straight to Gore. But I mean, think about what they did with the whole Donald Trump stuff in 2016 when Donald Trump won. Not only were they crying Russia collusion the entire time, they also... they actually impeached Trump. They actually did it for BS reasons. Obviously, he didn't get actually taken out of office, but they did impeach Trump. And it didn't stop. The entire Trump presidency, they were claiming that he rigged the election, Russia collusion, all of this stuff. After he even got out of office, they're now trying to throw him in jail constantly. It never stopped. But of course, Destiny's going to deflect to Gore instead of talking about the actual recent stuff with the people that they're actually talking about, with Donald Trump, with Hillary Clinton, and these people.
Same thing.
There's nothing.
When Trump wins in 2024, they'll likely do the exact same thing, just like Raskin has already said. The Democrats are already plotting not to certify the 2024 election because they know Trump is going to win.
It's fantastic delusion.
It's mainstream news. Anybody can pull it up on their phones right now. Jamie Raskin won't certify election results. Go ahead, plug it in. You got it right there, don't you? Yeah, it's right there.
Do you think Gogeta or Vegito would win in a fight? It's frustrating. I guess the saddest thing is that as much as I can't stand conservatives because I'm a liberal/progressive, at the very least, I felt like we were all kind of in the same boat. We were all kind of like the same country, and we were all presenting at least a unified front to the rest of the world. And as much as conservatives and Democrats might have hated each other, at least we were all Americans at the end of the day.
And when did that change?
When did that change? Well, a big change.
When Donald Trump became president of the United States. And they lost their mind because they couldn't control him, they couldn't bully him, they couldn't get him to bow down to political correctness. And so this is them, stuttering and spamming all over the place like lunatics, trying to get Donald Trump killed, assaulting Trump supporters, and lost their minds. Why do you think Elon Musk left the Democrat Party? Why do you think Tulsi Gabbard left the Democrat Party? Why are so many Democrats like Vernon Jones leaving the Democrat Party? Because this is your Democrat voter right here. Nobody wants to be a part of this psychotic movement anymore.
Psychotic movement when you guys literally tried. You guys invaded the Capitol.
Your side believes in trans kids.
Who wants to
Your
trans
side
kids?
wants to pay for trans
Most
surgeries in the
okay
prisons.
with it. You guys
Your
won't even
side
acknowledge
lets in
what
10
you've
million
done.
illegal immigrants. Your
Oh
side
my
starts
God.
wars all over the world. Our side is the party of sanity and the party of common sense. And if you can't see that in this debate, then you're never going to see it.
You're never going. The party of sanity is the party that doesn't believe believe in dinosaurs and thinks that we create hurricanes?
What are you talking about?
That's so off topic, man. I guess he's referring to like Christianity. I don't know what he's talking about with the hurricanes thing. I don't know, but I think with the believe in dinosaurs thing, many Christians, because they're not in the Bible, I'm sure somebody's going to correct me and say, actually, they are in the Bible, but like as far as I know, and I've done decent research on this, they're not in the Bible. So I guess that's what he's talking about there. But if you're like, it's crazy that Destiny can say that Republicans are not the party of sanity and that Democrats are the party of sanity, and they always just go back to the J6 thing. They always go back to Republicans want to overthrow democracy and overthrow the government. It's like, no, they really don't. I don't think anybody's stupid enough to try and do that. It wouldn't really be possible considering how powerful the United States military are, unless there's a coup from inside the military, which, I mean, it's really like so unlikely to happen. And also at the same time, like they bring up J6 all the time. But if you think about what happened back in 2020 with the fiery but mostly peaceful protests, like they were quite literally burning cities down, shutting cities down. Like it was bad where I am, and it was like a weird, like, felt post-apocalyptic time where there was just certain times of the day where I just couldn't leave my house because it wasn't safe, because there were protests, fiery but mostly peaceful protests around where I lived. And it was like, you got to get home before the sun sets or else you could get trapped in one of these peaceful protests. It was terrifying, dude. Like entire expressways were shut down. And because there was a group of people who were let in by security guards and shown around like they were on a tour at the Capitol, they act like the Republicans are the ones that are, the violent ones and the ones trying to overthrow democracy. We're living a clown world, man. We live in an absolute clown world.
Believe in dinosaurs? You think
what is this dinosaurs? What are you talking about dinosaurs?
Do you think the dinosaurs ever roam the earth?
Dinosaur toys?
Do you think the
Why
dinosaurs,
do you bring this up?
Do you think the dinosaurs ever roam the earth?
Is that a dinosaur on your necklace right there? What is that?
Do you think the dinosaurs roam the earth?
I'm not here to talk about dinosaurs.
It's insanity. It's crazy to me.
You know what? You're a political dinosaur. You're stuck in the past. This is the future right here.
You don't even acknowledge the outcome of the last fucking election.
If you enjoyed this content, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
How am I the one stuck in the past? You guys lost in 2022 for the same reason.
You believe everything you're told from the mainstream media. You're right. There's no government corruption. They don't rig elections. It's never happened. The government is great, guys. The government loves you so much, and the mainstream media would never lie to you. They would never do that. Let's
say that I did believe everything from the mainstream media. The mainstream media is a conglomeration of how many different large corporations with how many different editors, with how many different people involved that have how many levels of accountability, as opposed to the alternative media, a company that you just came from that's now bankrupt because the owner got sued for defamation for telling so many
lies.
The most
anti-establishment free speech organization in the world
the freedom
is
speech guys,
InfoWars.
The freedom of speech guys.
That's why we get shut down.
True, exactly.
That's why
it wasn't for telling. Yeah.
Of course. You want to know what happens when you speak truth to power? Everything this guy just said. I've been censored. I've been imprisoned. I've been assaulted. I've had my businesses shut down. This guy's dealt with nothing except cucking to his wife's boyfriend.
I see those 60 days in federal prison weren't kind to you.
In my opinion, Owen Schroyer absolutely wiped the floor with Destiny. Let me know in the comments, though, who do you think won this debate, Owen Schroyer, or do you think Destiny won the debate? It got very heated, as you can see, and in front of the live audience made it even better. Hopefully this happens more often where people like that. The problem is Destiny is the only one, and you got to give him a little bit of respect for this. He's the only one willing to do these debates. Nobody else will get on a stage with someone like Owen Schroyer and actually debate him. So, because they just want to exist in their echo chamber. So you got to respect them a little bit for that. But at the same time, all the ideas, all the arguments that he brought up were pretty ridiculous, in my opinion. Let me know in the comments still what you guys think about this Destiny versus Owen Schroyer live debate in front of this live audience.